Hi guys, I hope you're well. If you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Blakemore and I'm a teacher here in Dubai. This video is going to be a classroom tour, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, it has been a while since I've done any sorts of classroom tours due to everything going on in the world at the moment. Now, what I want to do is show you the difference with my classroom, because there are a significant amount of differences due to a range of different protocols and restrictions that we have here in class. Now, obviously, first thing you will see is this small poster that the children have created. This was a competition for the children to create something like this so that the children are aware of a range of different safety procedures within school. So come on in and let's have a look inside the classroom. So here you'll be able to see my desk. So I sit here so that the children and adults and other people are able to see me straight away here, and it's the first thing that they see. I'm going to talk through some of the things that I have here on my desk because I know that people like to see that for some reason. So this is my main thing that I obviously use. This is my MacBook Air, and this is used for everything. I know I have other devices, but this is the only thing I can print off. So this is what I use. Mug, because that's important and I can't survive without a hot drink in the morning. And then I generally sometimes have these on the way to work, and then sometimes listen to them when I'm doing bits in the morning. So around the desk, you'll see I call this like the coronavirus station. You've got sanitizer spray because you have to spray things down frequently, and then microfiber cloths to clean things down. I've got my own hand sanitizer pack because it's nicer than this one, which is not the best smelling, but I use this more frequently anyway. And then water, because that's important. These have been for the children, but I've used them more because for some reason I'm the one that ends up being ill more than anything. And then by the desk, I always keep sharpeners. Generally, it's for the children to sharpen their own pencils, but nowadays I take the pencils from them so that I can just sharpen them, and they have their own bits and pieces too, to be fair, and I'll show you that later on. In the drawers, we have general bits and pieces. This one is full of things that I just generally have on a day-to-day basis. So we've got certificates, because that's something we try to give out more frequently, Star of the Week, and then I also have a book. I've been reading this quite recently, and that's for lunchtime, to try and make my lunchtimes a bit more productive, although I don't always read, but hey ho. Inside this one's pretty obvious. It says stickers on it, so guess what we're going to see? We're going to see stickers. So you'll see a range of different stickers. I like these ones, the custom Mr. Blakemore says well done, general stickers, and these are like the golden stickers that rarely get handed out, but the children absolutely love them because they smell like bubblegum, and I wish you could smell this through the camera because they are amazing. This drawer here, I've never really decided what this drawer here is going to be full of. It's a few general bits and pieces, and it's that miscellaneous drawer basically, full of things that the children might use. So we've got success criteria here that you'll see one child has on their desk, and a few bits and pieces. So the other thing is here. This is my kind of like display station. We've got some bulldog clips here. We've got some stapling bits here, and whatever you call this. And from there, he says, trying to close it, we've also got timers. I give these to children as and when they need them, because sometimes children can work a little bit slowly, but I find these just are a general incentive and they enjoy having them on their table and flipping them around themselves. So then this is my post-it note drawer, and you'll see why I need post-it notes in a second. I also, around here, have a little thing. Now, you will also see in a second with the classroom tour that there are not so many things inside the classroom compared to my previous classroom tour. That is because we needed to strip out all of the things inside the classroom to make sure that the children could all fit in the classrooms, basically. So you'll see the storage cupboards, they got moved out, all the math bits and reading stations and all those different areas got moved out so that the children could fit. So things like colouring pencils, where they would be at the back previously, are now in a little drawer just so that I have them readily available. This one's full of paper and tinsel. This one's full of paper that the children can then use as scrap paper, and then for other things too. And then this one down here is my Alexa. Hi Alexa.
Bonjour. Hope you're having a good morning.
And Alexa's fantastic in the classroom. I've made a video previously about how to use Alexa in the classroom, so feel free to check that out. I'll probably put the link in the description so that you can see that as well. So let's have a little bit of a look around the classroom rather than just staying in one spot. So this is the first thing that you'll see. Now, I've not been so consistent with using this on a day-to-day basis because there's so much to do in the morning, and this is my Bitmoji timetable. You've probably seen this before. I'm sick of seeing my face now. I'll probably end up changing it to something else, but it is a little bit fun just for the children to see me instead of just random subjects. This is new. I've not used this before, but it has worked so well this year. At the start of the year, lots of words were on red, a range of different vocabulary that the children just didn't know, and I often overlook what children understand when it comes to vocabulary. I'll use it and not really think, well, do they actually use it? So this is for me and the children to try and build up their knowledge of vocabulary. So you'll see there's a few words on red, and these are the words that I'm still trying to get the children to understand. Orange is some of the words that they start to understand, but they're not quite sure. Not everyone is sure on them. And you'll see a few words here at the top, such as repel and attract, that we had for our science topic, that we can eventually take off because they now understand them. And again, natural due to our natural disasters topic. Moving on through, this is my interactive whiteboard, and this has been the central focal point for obviously every single lesson because the children aren't able to see lots of things around the classroom so much. So pretty much this has been the go-to. I use things like my viewboard, I use obviously Google Slides and Google Classrooms within the lessons. Around here, we also have Wow Work. This has been stripped off, ready for term 2. It's generally covered by this whiteboard, as this is a, I'm going to say it's a really good whiteboard. Anyway, I'll stop. It's a whiteboard that I use, and I have these 2-in-1 pens, which work really well, especially for identifying different things, because I can just readily change them about, and it works really well. Wow Work is just an incentive for the children to get onto the wall and to be appreciated, basically, and the children enjoy that. It's a challenge at the moment just to make sure that I'm readily photocopying work to go onto there, but it's something that I'm hopefully going to be a bit more thorough with in the future. From here then, you'll see my MEC display. Some of you will be thinking, what is MEC if you're from the UK? MEC is a subject that we study here in the UAE. It stands for Moral Education Curriculum, and it's something that is basically about trying to help others be a good person. You'll see a bit of a definition there, and it's helping others be basically aware of what general responsibilities are around the world, and just helps individuals be good. You'll also see inside the desks that this is a general setup. Now, this is the general setup, and they're sat in rows. This is stipulated to us. They have to sit in rows, and it's quite a challenge. They kind of have to stay in their places, other than for things like break times. And they also have things within their drawers. So if we just come to here, you'll see that inside here, you've got a couple of drawers. Inside this one is the books that I'm not going to show you because names and safeguarding. But then inside here, they have their different bits of stationery. So they've got hand sanitizer, bits for them to play with at break time. They've got their whiteboards and rubbers and scissors and glue sticks and things inside their pencil case. And they've got reading books and just general things to keep them occupied during break times, but also things for their learning too. Coming on here, you'll see this is a bit of a social studies display. It's mainly for the children to understand a range of different emirates within the UAE. It's something that we've used previously, and I just generally keep that up there. I always find that things about the sheikhs and the different emirates come up throughout the year, so it just generally helps the children too. From here then, you'll see our maths display. Now, this has been really good in some ways so that I can share the learning with the children. One of the challenges that I'll be completely honest with you with is the placement of it. Because the children are facing this way, children who are seated further away are unable to see it. In addition, we've got light coming in from the window, which then glares against this reflective surface. You can peel this off, which is great, but because there's this light glare, it's not perfect. I need a few more of these darker pens to make this more effective. I'd probably move this closer to the front, to be fair, and maybe that's something I will do in the future. Coming along to here, you'll see that this child here has won the Superstar Table Trophy. This has been a great incentive. I usually have this with the groups, and nowadays I just have it for specific individuals, and I'll say The superstar table trophy will go to someone who has completed the most amount of work, whether it's presented their work nicely, used a range of adjectives, made sure that they are behaving correctly, keeping their desk tight, a range of different reasons, and that's something that I give out at the end of the week, and it's a big thing that the children get really excited with. It sort of mirrors up with the star of the week too. You'll see here, this is a very minimalistic English display, but has worked well. At the start of the year, I sort of printed off things on the display, figured out that the children aren't able to see that again because they're facing away. This stuff has been fantastic for very specific lessons where I can then peel this off and pin it to the front of the classroom. So it becomes quite sticky, and I can just bring this to the front, and then when I'm done with it again, I can just stick it back up. And it's amazing. It blows my mind every single time I use it, but it has been extra useful. From here, we've just got two general displays, a growth mindset one and a slightly crooked growth mindset, but using that growth mindset, we're going to think of the fact that it's okay for things to be crooked because we're improving. Anyway, we've also got around here a few heads, and the children have created these so that they can think of some positive reinforcement phrases, essentially. Science, again, full of vocabulary to support the children, and these posters are things that I can just peel off and just bring to the front of the class too. This, sadly, was once a reading area, and it's terrible. It makes me very sad that we can't have a reading area, but because the children are sat in very specific places, they can't move, basically, from these places. They don't get the chance to come into this area because that would mean mingling around, and that can't happen due to social distancing and all those sorts of things. So we don't have a reading area like you've seen in previous videos. This here is the challenge area, and a similar challenge. Eventually the children will be able to see this, but I've not really done too much with this because the children, especially at the back, cannot really see this, but it's nice for me to refer to and talk about those different targets that are in their books. From here, you'll see the store cupboard. I'd love to show you inside the store cupboard, but because I've moved everything from within the classroom into here, it's like a bomb has hit it. So it's extremely messy, and I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah, we're not going inside there. However, these are the house points. The children gain a range of different house points throughout the week, and this is more of a team element for behaviour management, and it also helps give them a bit of an incentive for different activities. From there then, we've pretty much finished the classroom tour. And that marks the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like it. That is always really appreciated. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to drop them down into the comments. I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I make a range of teaching and traveling content and content about living here in Dubai too. Hopefully I will see you in the next one, but until then, I'm out.